Welcome back to the show, everybody. The one on Triple G.O.D. live with you, though. It's time to talk of some of that pro wrestling, or the WWE variety, of course, because previously on the Savage Era, we talked about All or Nothing, and that's all I'm going to say. You should go watch that. But anyway, we have got a lot to get into, because not only did I happen to watch Super Showdown while I was on a plane on my way to LA, so I didn't get a chance to really talk about that until now. There's some other stuff. This has been a month since we've talked about WWE, and we've definitely got to get in the stomping grounds, and I'm kind of glad it worked out like this, because given what WWE presented Super Showdown to be, and I'm going to be 100% real when I say this, the lead up to Super Showdown was weird, and I'm going to tell you why. While I was watching YouTube, it's like I was watching the ads for it, and they were literally billing this announcer man like WrestleMania again, and I'm like, no, totally not. Like I get it, Vinnie Mac. You love oil money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves the oil money, and that's okay. That's fine. Don't get on ads and say that this is a WrestleMania caliber event. But given what Super Showdown had to present, I kind of see your point. However, before we get into the Super Showdown stuff, and I probably should have led with this, is I'm going to say something that's going to surprise people. The 24/7 title over this time has grown on me just a little bit. And even given that when Mick Foley walked his ass out there in front of that crowd, got his cheek popped, and they booed the hell out of him because the 24/7 title wasn't the hardcore title, I understand your frustration. I was literally surprised too. But I want to say this though, because I'm finna negate all that. From someone who watched the Attitude Era when the 24/7 rule was instated, and this is important, when it was instated, it was kind of crazy when you be watching WWF Superstars or watching WWF Confidential with Rest in Peace Mean Gene or whatever, and they would literally, like in the middle of Mean Gene doing something, they would cut to somebody in an airport getting their ass whooped. Like literally cut to that in the middle of your shows building up the weekend shows. I'm like, the WWE don't do that much anymore, but for everybody who know, like for like everybody who used to like watch their local stations, like after your cartoons went off, in my hood, at least on my channel 11 in my hood, they always had like a show that would recap Raw and SmackDown for you, because for a minute, the people who had the UPN license in the hood though was a literal church company, and I don't understand, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna put them on blast. I don't know how the hell Larry Rice got the rights to UPN, but yo, people in St. Louis didn't get to see SmackDown for years. So I'm just putting that out there. So the only way I was able to catch up on SmackDown were to watch these weekend shows, and not only bursting in and in between and doing all that, they would literally be showing hardcore title matches, people in the airport getting their ass whooped. Like, yo, people be like, I think I remember one time somebody was literally sitting down getting lunch, and they got pinned for the hardcore title. So in this age of social media and things like that, and how big WWE is on YouTube and things like that, have you forgotten about Tout? Is that it's kind of perfect to have this, how do I say this without being disrespectful? This weird comedy title, let's just say, because I'm not saying that nobody who held the title is some weird comedy jobber, but putting the title and having like R-Truth have it and stuff like that, no disrespect to him or his character or anything like that, given that that's what that title is, and given like how much fun they having with it, it is something that you can just like randomly like insert anywhere to just fill time, and you got something for other people to do. I'm like, yo, Drake Maverick wife about to quote unquote divorce him because R-Truth won a 24/7 title after they win. You can't really write that type of stuff. It's the year 2019, and you can flip things any way the way you want to flip things, because social media is a thing. So, given this initial inception with Mick Foley getting the hell boot out of him, to the 24/7 title kind of growing on me, and R-Truth being a big part of that, it's not that bad. So I just wanted to just take a couple minutes and just say, it's not bad. It could be better, but it ain't bad. Before I interrupted myself, I was talking about Super Showdown, right? Because as a lead into Stomping Grounds, which we are about to talk about. So, what do I remember about Super Showdown? Some random dude from Oil Money Country won that over the top battle royal or whatever. Something about the Lucha House Party and Heidenreich Jr. I don't know. And the most of the rest of this pay-per-view were leads into this thing, including Shane McMahon beating Cancer Joe for reasons. And also my two granddads fought, and one of them bled really badly. I have no idea why Undertaker and Goldberg were in a ring at the same place at the same time fighting for oil money, but brings a tear to my eye because what the fuck? Now, I'm not saying that because it's like I will say this though. I will say this because I just want to get to this point, and that's why one of the matches I didn't talk about. Weirdly enough, the build up to Super Showdown was kind of dope. Like, especially that Raw before Super Showdown when Triple H and Randy Orton got in the ring and Stephanie got your balls in a purse and blah 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 and all that old stuff, and them going back and forth, giving the history between Triple H and Randy Orton and giving the result of the match. I'm like, yeah, that was probably something you needed to book Randy Orton to win. Triple H can't go out there and book himself to win every grudge match that he's in. Like, yeah, you probably should have beat Batista. That kind of sort of makes sense. You kind of don't want to put that weird stigma on Randy Orton because he's still technically wrestling for your company or something. I don't know. That just kind of makes sense, I guess. And given, like, all this lead up to, like, Stomping Grounds, especially the first match with Baron Corbin and that boy Seth freaking Rollins, and you got Dolph Ziggler, and that's been a crazy build that I have enjoyed watching with Kofi, which we will talk about a bit later, and a whole bunch of other things that happened on the pay-per-view, but still, it was a decent pay-per-view overall. I was just kind of weirded out on the whole. Y'all trying to put this as a WrestleMania-like event, and we know it's oil money. You know it's oil money. Let's not do this to ourselves. And that's just kind of where it was that I sat with that. Oh, don't mind me. I'm looking up at the Big Boy TV to see how long we've been at this, because we've got a legitimate pay-per-view to talk about. So let me, because I'm trying to make sure that my focus is good where it's supposed to be, so things don't get messed up as they should. Give me a second here, internet. I'm trying to find something. Dennis is still up here? I thought it was. I literally thought it was still up here. Oh boy, that fell. Okay, let me see. Give me a second, y'all, because I thought I had everything taken care of and set up and whatnot. Let me see, because this is live TV. Live TV happens, right? So, let's see if I can fix this really quickly before we get into what it is we need to get into, because I needed a keyboard because it's something I needed a visual for later. So, you know what I'm saying? I needed a visual for later. So, let me see. Is it on now? Yeah, so, I think, let me see. Well, okay, it ain't working the way it's supposed to be working. Oh well. I'll figure out how to get that visual up there, even if this computer can even handle that. But look, regardless. Let's talk about Stomping Grounds, y'all, because I don't know how to feel. And that's a weird mix in between, because there were things that literally was like, wow, I didn't see that coming, and other things was like, I don't know if this is how we should have done that. But let's just get to the matches. I got the matches and stuff pulled up like I always do to make sure that I'm covering everything, because I remember that one time when I didn't and I missed the match and I kind of felt bad. Alright. Okay, looking up at the screen. Okay, we good. Okay, so it's this weird twist of, wow, Drew Gulak is your new Cruiserweight champion, and that match was hella dope. Now, again, like I say, it's like every now and then, and like for real, every now and then, these cruiserweight championship matches that be on the pre-show literally jump out the screen and literally surprise me because again, I'm honest, I don't pay attention to 205 Live like that. There's only so much wrestling I can absorb in a week, and I have to sacrifice 205 Live to, have a normal people life. So the only time I really get to interact with the cruiserweights are all these pre-shows and these pay-per-views. But Gulak, Tozawa, and Tony Nese went in that ring and straight clowned. Like, they clowned. If you watch a match from this pay-per-view, it should probably be this one. If you're not following the storyline of anything else, you should sit up here and watch a great match with three wrestlers who went out there in that ring and let it all hang out. And it's like, and that's what I love to see. It's like one of these matches for real gonna get me to start watching 205 Live every week. This may be that match, but again, like I said, it's only so much wrestling I can absorb in a week. But I just want to shout them out. They went out there and straight clowned. Becky Lynch is still the Raw Women's Champion. We not gonna talk about this for reasons. Literally, we are not even gonna talk about this match at all because at the end of the day, and this is important, this don't matter for reasons because booking. So Becky Lynch beat Lacey Evans, and this was my hope, and I'm going to say this as respectfully as one who takes a look at wrestling does, that Lacey Evans go do something else. Here's a spoiler alert for the rest of this video. Lacey Evans doing that SOS, so stay tuned for that. Just stay tuned for that. Real talk, just stay tuned. Some point during the show, speaking of this thing we're not going to talk about till later, this whole build up to Seth Rollins hits people with chairs. This has been some of the dumbest wrestling I've seen in a while. Anytime Baron Corbin looks at a fool like, "Hi, buddy," Seth Rollins comes out the chair like Chairman and hits people with chairs. And it's dumb. It is dumb and it's entertaining. And I know that Seth Rollins can't hit the whole WWE roster with chairs. But I wouldn't mind that just being a show on the WWE network. Seth Rollins hits fools with chairs. Just bow. And that's all he did. Given even this information, is that the build-up and what I thought things were going to be was we were going to lead into what I'm going to describe as not a spoiler because it didn't happen. No. Brock Lesnar was not the special guest referee for Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins, where you would have thought that a couple of things could have happened. Where Brock would have helped Baron Corbin win, F5 him, become the champion, and you can go throw the Money in the Bank briefcase some damn where, and then you can be the champion off TV. Because you're Brock Lesnar or whatever. But yeah, that's what we thought was going to happen. Nope. Did not happen. No. Mm-mm. No. Anywho. Moving right along. KO and Zayn beat Big E and my main man Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed, in what was a great match that literally came out of nowhere. Had no build. They technically wrestled kind of sort of on SmackDown last week, and then they had a match on the pay-per-view to fill time, but it was a great match. Well, when you get great wrestlers in the match, they do great things, and this is just an example of that. Yeah. That's what I want to say. Yeah, those are words. Super words. Yeah, those are words. They killed it. And it's like going, like I said, it was like things that came out of nowhere. Because I literally didn't pay attention to like the weekend leading up to me watching Stomping Grounds earlier today. I had no idea this was a match until I was in the middle of watching the pay-per-view. And then it was a match that was dope. So every now and then, even in WWE can surprise your ass. Oh, hey, big screen. Anywho, Ricochet beat Samoa Joe, and he is your new United States champion. Now, match was dope, but this is not the point I want to get into. I want to veer off a little bit and give me a second to. There was this dude, y'all remember him? His name is Aleister Black. Do you know what Aleister Black has been doing since him and Ricochet have separated? He just sits in front of a mirror every week and just cuts promos. And promos are not bad, but I'd rather see Aleister Black wrestle. I appreciate the promos and you building this character. This is super nice, but when is your ass gonna wrestle, bruh? The same could be said about the Firefly Funhouse, and the less I talk about that, the better. And there's a reason why I don't. Because I don't want to say anything until this actually comes to legitimate fruition. The Muscle Man dance was super dumb. We're on this tangent now of Bray Wyatt and Firefly Funhouse, because that stuff went from to oh man, I need to watch this every time they come on. I said that right now while we're talking about Ricochet becoming the United States champion. Even given all this, for real. The match was pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Given that you got Joe and you got Ricochet and you really trying to push that. The thing was, it wasn't important that Ricochet won the match. It was what happened afterward. Afterwards, Ricochet went in the back, everybody giving daps and hugs. He didn't want to hug on none of the women because he was mad sweaty. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get your glistening 630 sweat on you, girl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love you, pound, and all that good stuff. Triple H, like, you the greatest, baby. Yeah. And it's like, some hope for the future. How long will this last? I don't know. Joe probably going to choke him out Monday night. Later in this pay-per-view, because they need something for AJ Styles and the Good Brothers to do, they're like, man, we're going to see you tomorrow, cuz. And it's like, okay, this is a thing, I suppose, if that's what you want to do. Whatever, I don't care. You know, but it is what it is with that. But I figured, we talk about that just a little bit. And it is what it is with that. You want to know something? Remember I told you of those surprises on a pay-per-view? This is another thing that I really legitimately, that had very little build, that I didn't even know was a match on a pay-per-view till I watched it, which was Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery. And I'm like, wow. Like, the thing is that it was kind of one of those, I'm in this match and I'm trying to literally understand what's happening, not because the match didn't go too fast for me or I didn't have a second to process it, but it took me a little bit to really understand what was going on, because number one, they were cheering Bryan, and then I remember this weird Washington or whatever, so that's fine. It took me a second to remember that, but I gotta say, Daniel Bryan and Rowan put over Heavy Machinery like it was nobody business. Even in a losing effort, Heavy Machinery looked hella good. And that's what you want, given this thing we're trying to do. That finally, after superstar shakeups and backs and forth, this is really the first real chance I'm really seeing of legitimately people getting over. We had Ricochet earlier that we just talked about, Heavy Machinery looking good, and I'm like, the question is out for Lacey Evans, and we're gonna talk about her. Spoilers, we gotta talk about her later for reasons, but this is the first, this is for real, between the Ricochet joint with him winning the U.S. title and Heavy Machinery looking hella good in a loss. That's hope. That's literally hope that you could really have in this division. And speaking of tag team divisions, you know what? We'll talk about that. That match is a little later. We'll talk about where your Raw tag team champions are, but it is what it is for that. Bayley's still the SmackDown Women's Champion. The build to this has been pretty good. I appreciated the build. I appreciate that Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are besties, and Bayley is doing her own thing and trying to make sure, and magical revisionist history, that Sasha Banks don't exist. Yeah. It was a match on a pay-per-view. The thing is, this is one of those matches I was looking to see some literal closure. Ain't no closure. Let's not pretend there isn't going to be, because Alexa Bliss is going to be in Bayley's face for a while because of the magic of the wild card rule. Vinnie Mac, you genius. I'm like, that's something else I want to talk about. Maybe we should talk about that right now real quick. in the most accidental purpose, this is now kind of sort of working. This wild card rule is literally working, and it's like, I know other people, you know what I'm saying, because, I read and listen to like what other people have to say, at least when it comes to wrestling, just to hear other thoughts, so I'm not in my own echo chamber or whatever. But I do legitimately understand at this juncture why the wild card rule works. Is that it works in a way that, yeah, you still have your brand split, and it works, but you never know who you gonna see on the other show, and it builds to weird matches of a SmackDown champion defending against a Raw superstar, and that really brings story building excitement, because then that's a story that you can carry across both shows, because the one person got to be on the other show and do this and doing all this hand signal stuff, but it works in a way that, again, like, because all this stuff is like really like, as in like maybe about a couple of weeks ago, as I've been watching Raw and SmackDown intently, because I have been trying to find the holes in because I can't find my words now, in the wild card rule. It surprisingly, legitimately, kind of, sort of works a little bit. And I'm looking to see how much more that this can work to really bolster both brands. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we all know what it's about, because of all that stuff that we think we know. But in the instance of trying to tell stories and trying to do this, it works as a plot device. And that's really all you need a thing like that to do. So I figured that we talk about that real quick. Cancer Joe beat Drew McIntyre. Jimmy also cracked corn. And you want to know what? No one cared about either one of those things. I'm not saying that I don't care about them as individual performers. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that this Shane stuff, and as much as, because I'm like, yo, Shane, my dude, he always been my dude. I love Shane. But I don't have the same fears that other people on the internet do, that this is leading to Shane becoming world champion. I would really hope that that's not where we're going, because, we've done McMahon as champions before, and we're not even counting Triple H. And if they really want a repeat of Vinnie Mac being world champion or Stephanie being the women's champion, like, you could run that. I don't know how over that's going to get over on the fans, but I don't know, given, like, where we are in storytelling land when it comes to the landscape of the WWE, I just don't know if Shane as a champion really works for any story that you're trying to tell, unless you literally trying to build somebody to immediately knock him off the perch. Now, I will say this live as a kite. If they really build into like the Miz knocking him off, that's really the only legitimate thing that you can do. Here's the problem with that, and we're going to talk about the Universal Championship picture and do all that right now before we get into Seth versus Baron Corbin, which is going to like a whole bunch of like eliminate most of what I'm going to say. Let's put it just like this. At this juncture, I don't know if having Kofi lose the title to Shane McMahon is what you want to do as a storytelling device. It will not work. It's like, the thing is, I will say this live, that regardless of, because we still got to get to my boy Kofi and my boy Dolph and things like that, because we're going to talk about it before we get into those two title matches. It's even given, regardless of whatever result that is, no matter what you do, Kofi, and this is a spoiler, Kofi won this match, and we'll talk about that indefinitely, is that I don't know if that's what you want to book. I don't know. I don't know if you want to book that, because the fans are going to shit on that just all day. That don't bode well, because actually, that should be our next match, because that's our next match. Kofi beat Dolph. The match was pretty decent. That ending was dope. Match was okay. Ending was dope. That's all. So we've established that. Match was alright, ending was dope. The end. Even given this, because I'm gonna wait till we get into Baron. We get into Baron versus the boy Seth freaking Rollins. I don't know if you really want to book Kofi to get knocked off his perch by Shane. There's no way in hell you really finna book Seth Rollins to get done in when, you got Bork Milk My Cow Laser in the corner like, I got a briefcase. I don't know how that works because it's like, it seems well intent. Given the booking, it ain't no way in hell that they would ever book 99% sure, like You Are the Father on some Maury bullshit, that they would ever book Brock Lesnar to be Kofi Kingston and take the title off him on Money in the Bank. I don't think that's what you do story wise anyway, because SmackDown that's throwback. That's the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. This, I went to UFC, whooped the fool ass, Brock Lesnar. I go hold the title for hostage for months, Brock Lesnar. No way you book him to go beat Kofi with the with Money in the Bank. It don't even make sense me even thinking about it. Zero. Oh well, we've been at this for a while. It don't even make sense at all in general that that's what you do. So no. If you want Seth Rollins to be just stalked by Brock Lesnar at every turn, that works a little better as a storyline because of previous encounters. So we'll keep that in the corner. To go back to my Shane O'Mac point, I do not know if what you want to do is you want to book Shane in a program with the boy Kofi for him to lose the title. That don't make sense. What would make sense is that if they lead into the chosen one, Drew McIntyre, winning the World Heavyweight Championship from Kofi on some BS, you could kind of write a story around that and write your magical redemption arc for either a SummerSlam or a bigger pay-per-view down the line if that's what you want to do. Because again, honestly, given how much Cancer Joe has been in matches, they trying to keep him away from the title picture. Because I don't think we ever want to see Kofi versus Cancer Joe. I don't think no one wants to see that for the reasons you probably don't. So, no, just totally not. I can see Drew McIntyre winning the title on some BS and to become the SmackDown to become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I can see that. That's possible. It's like, cause that's a little more believable than Shane winning it. Because if Shane winning it, then we back to the same old BS from 30 million years ago. I don't think anybody wants to see that right now. It will probably make for some great TV for just a little bit, but not enough for people to tune in, especially if what you're trying to do is bolster ratings, which is your current issue. So it is what it is with that. So I just wanna, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is with that. Here is your main event of the evening. Baron Corbin, at the end of the day, he found a special guest referee. Oh, he found a special guest referee. As we alluded to earlier, that person was not Brock Lesnar. That person was Lacey Evans. Do the math. I'll give you a second. Let's just pretend there's a chalkboard over this way. Do math over here. I don't know. Why? Why? You know what? I understand. Let Uncle Triple explain. Okay. The WWE does weird things in booking. Ever since The Man and Seth freaking Rollins have admitted they are in a relationship, WWE has been weirdly pushing it. Like, whatever. Because this is not the first time. For this to affect your main event, for this to affect other things, Seth Rollins will not be defending a title at the next pay-per-view. Or, on some weird, crazy nonsense, Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans will be in a tag team match with the titles on the line because WWE has done this before. I'm just like, the match wasn't even that good. It's like the match was like, all I expect things when I see Seth Rollins in a wrestling match, and I didn't get a lot of that. He got hit in the balls, lots of fast counts, all this old stuff, build up to stuff, and I don't know. No. I don't know. I don't get it. I do not understand it in any way. I don't. I'm not going to pretend that I even do, because I don't. It's like trying the mystical and trying to understand. Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Lunch. Lunch is up.
Lunch is now?
Lunch is now.
Why you didn't send me a schedule and tell me lunch was now? I didn't know.
I have been busy. I do apologize. I know normally I do keep you updated on that. My apologies.
Yeah, because I would have planned around this. I would have tried to.
I'm sorry. Am I making too much of a distraction?
No, you're fine, darling.
I'm just hungry. I need to put this in the mailbox, and I'm hungry.
Well, I'm almost done. I'll go get the babies. But internet, so I can go get my babies from outside, because they've been outside this whole time I've been making this video.
I've heard them.
Yeah, I know, and I'm going to go get them.
Okay, I'll get them.
Oh, you're going to go get them?
Yes, I'll get them. Can you open the door?
I can't get up. I'm in the middle of the video. So you have to walk around a long way, boss. And I think that door was open anyway. I think. Anywho, so we can go.
Fluff.
Huh?
Hufflepuff.
Huff? What, girl?
Hufflepuff.
Girl, don't be saying naughty words, YouTuber. Don't say that. Okay, what was I? Oh. Build up to whatever the hell this is between the man and Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. I don't think no one wants to see this, and probably no one does. I think that's it. It made sense when you think about it from whatever angle you want to think about it from.
I know, you're thirsty.
So it is what it is, and we try. Hello, ladies. Daddy, sorry. You coming up here, darling? You coming up here? You go.
I'm thirsty. I'd like some water.
Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Come here, girl. Come on, home. Move the keyboard.
Handy, Lizzie.
Oh, word?
Word.
That makes sense. Well, at the end of the day, a pay-per-view, indeed a pay-per-view. It is what it is. And this is going to be interesting to watch. I'm trying to think, what is our next pay-per-view? Because we're in June, so we ain't SummerSlam yet. It's probably a pay-per-view in between, but they didn't telegraph or to say anything, unless it's going to be a long build to SummerSlam. But it'll be interesting to really see like what the builds are next, given with a new United States champion, with Dolph Ziggler probably finna go about his business, with the Lacey Evans stuff not being as over as you thought it was. Whatever this Baron Corbin thing is going to be, Brock Lesnar just hiding around in the cut, like the hidden character for Mortal Kombat 2 and 11 Forest. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to really see like what these builds are to our next pay-per-view and things like that. So we'll see. I am going to do this before we get up out of here. Let me get my mouse cursor here, and let me bring it back here, just like that. So I know this is a little is what it is though. Yeah, my hands are good. Yeah, so it is what it is with that. I just want to throw this together, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure that I took care of stuff. You got to do what you got to do in an emergency. Oh, by the way, like the cans though, they come with the set. It is what it is. But look, we have got plenty of more show for you, so please sit back, relax, and stay tuned. I'm of course the one and only triple the G.O.D, aka Mr. CRACKCOCINE, putting another episode of the Savage Era in the books. And like I said, more show for all of y'all right after these commercial messages. No, seriously, more show for all of y'all, trust me. Got plenty of more show. I promise. Seriously, more show after this.